Hey guys, welcome back to the DIY with me. I'm so excited you're here today. I'm going to remove myself in just a second, but today we're going to use a technique. I tried it once and you will probably have seen this video on my Insta, not on my Insta, on YouTube. I've tried this once and it was a fail. So we're going to try it again. And if it's a fail again, then I'm just going to give up because honestly, this technique looks so easy when people are doing it, but yet when it's ready to start doing it, when you go to do it, it's like, wait a second, how did they do it? And so the last technique I did, I actually had an old lighter. And so this time I'm getting a new lighter. So we shall see. But I'm going to remove myself so you guys can see what we're doing. Okay, so I have this shamrock that I bought at the Dollar Tree. And I had the little hanger there. I think I just threw it on the floor because I was cleaning off my desk. And the hanger is super easy. When you're painting, the hanger just goes back like this. And you just flip it through to the back. But I'm not going to put the hanger back on yet because I don't want to catch this rope on fire. Now, the first thing you're going to do is I went ahead and I painted my shamrock green. You 100% can do, you can paint it green or you can just leave it plain. It's up to you. But I went ahead and prepped it yesterday and painted it green. That way you guys can see in less time. So I'm going to put that aside. And what you're going to need for this craft is you're going to need some kind of napkin, some Mod Podge, of course, a little paintbrush. I actually am using the foam paint brushes because I can just toss these and throw them away. And you're going to need napkins and also a lighter. So I have two paintbrushes out here. So what you're going to do, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to come, and these napkins come in layers. So you're going to pull off a layer. Now, you know me, I'm pretty frugal. I will either use this as when I'm working on a craft. If I need to wipe my hands with something, I can use this. Or I can put it as fiber fill. It's up to you. But I'm going to use this particular section right here, these sections. I'm not going to use the other sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out the 4 squares. And you notice the shamrock has 3 hearts on it. So, of course, I'm going to have to use another napkin. So I'm going to cut these apart first. And cut this apart. And you can use this for another craft, or you can use it for decoupaging, anything like that. So I'm just going to fold it and sit it with my other piece. And this one, if you didn't already see it, I've already used this piece to wipe my hands. So if I need to, here's another extra piece. Like I said, you can always use it for fiber fill or whatever. So that's 2 pieces down. But I'm also going to need another piece off this one. So instead of marking the whole napkin and tearing the whole napkin apart, because sometimes, you know, you have little pieces here and there, it's hard to keep up in your craft cabinet. You're just going to come back and do this. And you're going to cut. So that's all you're using for the excess. I'm just going to close it and stick them over here so they're not in my way. Now this one you have to peel across. Sometimes it's hard, but trying to find the second layer. Sometimes I find if you work outward, inward, it works. It's almost like, you know, when you're at the grocery store and you go get plastic bags and plastic bags does not want to open. That's how this napkin is right now. And if you notice, a lot of times I'll take my glasses off if I have to get up and work on something up close. I just need to see where the indentations are. I can feel it, but I just can't see it yet. I could use the 2-ply, but here we go. I see it, but I can't get my hands on it. This will be great if you have like a tweezers or something like that to use with them. Now it's going to tear. Let's see if I can find it with my pencil. I've seen the opening. I just need to get it separated. Here we go. Sometimes sliding something in will separate it. So, setting that aside, so I have all 3 of my pieces done. Now, this is a work surface that I actually bought another mat, so this is my actual work surface. So I'm okay if I get Mod Podge on it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of Mod Podge, and I'm just going to lightly go across. I made the mistake and put way too much Mod Podge on the one earlier that I tried to do, and you will see it. I promise you guys. I will. If this one turns out successful, I will post the other one so you can see the difference. I'll actually post them both in the same day. You're just putting a light coat on it, and then you're going to come and you're going to lay your flour on it. All you're doing. If you want, I kind of like the wrinkles, but if you don't want the wrinkles, then you can always cut it off. I'm just going to cut the excess off here because I know that it's going to get in my way for the other pieces. Okay. One down, two more to go. Here we go again. Lightly covering the green Shamrock. I wanted to do floral, but you can do any kind of color you want. You can do just a plain color napkin if you want. If you want to do a rainbow theme colored, you can do different colors in the hearts as well. I just thought this was really cute. I got this frame from the dollar store, but I'm sure if you go online and search shamrocks, you can find a wood cutout for a shamrock. Like I said, I'm lightly covering it so you can barely see it almost. Don't make the mistake that I did before and put way too much Mod Podge on it. And I actually went over the top of it with it. And I'm just going to lightly press it down so it adheres. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to cut off the excess so it doesn't interfere with everything else I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead. I have my trash can right here by my desk. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the trash can. And then I'm going to also do this number. Now I'm kind of scared for this technique. Because, you know, anytime you play with fire, you're going to get burned sometimes. So let's see how this one works. So this one, I'm going to go back once again. I put a lot on, but I'm just going to spread it across. I actually wanted to do this on the DIY show, but I never got time to do it. I decided that I was not going to continue with Market.live. They're a good company, but I wasn't comfortable pushing. As you notice, in every video, I always put my Amazon store, only because it's easier sometimes to find stuff on Amazon than it is to find at your local store. I always put my Amazon store, but by no means do I have the obligation that you have to buy from the Amazon store. It just helps me out a little bit. But Market wanted me to do high priced items to get you guys to do stuff. And I'm like, the whole point with my brand as Frugal Mom is creating crafts for less, because we don't have a lot of stuff. When we were growing up, when my girls were growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and I chose to stay home with them. And so creating crafts and doing things with them was one of the enjoyment that I got in being creative. So I just felt like it was not beneficial for me to continue with them. And no hard feelings, honestly. I was under contract for 10 shows, and then I was going to come back and do like on my own, but as an affiliate. But I'm like, I'm already affiliate with Amazon. I don't need to push other products as well. So yeah, I'm just cutting off some of the excess, so it's not going to be that hard. And now I'm seeing where they're trying to get people to sell stuff live. Like, we're going to set up your TikTok shop. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you're still getting a percentage. Are you even saying that part of it? So, all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover my glue. Go ahead and put my glue, the cap back on my glue, and my paintbrush. Y'all, this is the hardest part. So what I saw them do was, I'm going to throw this down here because I don't want anything extra that might night around me. How I saw them do this was they took the glue. They took the, not glue, they took the lighter, which I'm going to start with, and they just went around. I think I'm going to start, and they just burnt around it. See how it goes? See how it's doing it? And it's burning off the excess. So it's like sealing it. That worked pretty cool, didn't it? That was pretty neat, wasn't it? And you're just going to let it burn until it burns itself out. That was pretty neat, wasn't it? It's still going. Okay, I got it. See it? It's burning itself out. The fail that I did with mine to begin with was that I did not, I put Mod Podge on top instead of putting it over here to the side. And so we're just going to slowly, I'm only doing a little piece at a time because I obviously don't want, okay. Now my lighter does not want to work. Okay, let's see if I can get a bigger piece going over here. Well, that one took off some of it, so you may want to go back later. See, that took off a little piece of it right here, but that's okay because you can go back later with your green paint. And you're just going to go and you're just going to see some of it came back, some of them came off, but that's okay. You can come back with your green paint and do the touch up around it. But I'm going to see if I can't finish these off now. We'll pull this up just a little bit so I can, okay. So we have a little bit left to do. You see how the edges are right here? Like I said, there's some pieces that I'm actually going to see if I can lift these up and score it, because I've tried that a couple of times right there. And I've tried this a couple of times. So you have something like an X-Acto knife or even the edges of your scissors that you can score. 100% go back and do that. What you're just doing is you're just cleaning out your edges. Like you see, I didn't put enough glue down here, so it actually got that part. But I'm just kind of going with my scissors because I tried setting something on fire a couple times and the scissors didn't want to kind of work. I'm going to try this side over here real quick. Look how cute it looks, right? Look at it. Look, it's cute, right? It's really cute. It's, and you can, y'all, the burn technique, I will definitely post the Pinterest fail on it that I did. Now there's something about not hot glue, the Mod Podge that makes it stop and not catch on fire. So we have this, right? Now it's pretty. It's got a heart, but you see where some of the edges didn't stick? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this back up here. You can actually add ribbons if you want up here, but I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to take my little scissors and score it. So, but now, y'all, there's a reason why I kept my green paint out, because this was the paint I used. Put the lighter aside. I went ahead and shook up my painting. God, I can't talk now. Just a little bit of paint is all you need out. And I'm going to get one of my smaller brushes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and just lightly go over the edges. That way, if there's some that are missing the pieces, you're not going to see it. What you're doing is you're just outlining the hearts. So even if your Mod Podge didn't keep right there, you're just outlining it so that you can't even tell. See? Could you tell on that one now? And you're just going through and you're just outlining them. So with just a little bit of paint coming back around. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just doing like one brush stroke. If you want it to be a little bit aged, you can come back with maybe some black and age it up. And that's all you're doing. And I will promise you that I will post the Pinterest fail. So you know not what to do. That's one heart down. See how it disguised it a little bit? So we're going to come back here, do the same thing to this one. You're just making it so that it's one. If you want to come back later with your X-Acto knife, you can. And all you're doing is covering up the edges. And painting is so therapeutic, and if you like to watch, I have a friend of mine who loves to watch fire burn. And so if you just like the flame, then 100% that would be something cool to do. But all you're using for this craft is some paint, Mod Podge, a lighter. And I use the bigger lighter only because I can't use the smaller lighter. For some reason, my finger does not want to work with the smaller lighters. I notice this piece right here is sticking up, so I'm just going to take my little scissors and just clear it off some. The smaller lighters don't want to work again when you flip. They don't work. My hands don't work very well with those. See right here, this spot right here, you're never going to know that there's not a, because you're covering it up. So any of your boo-boos or mistakes that you made burning, you're just covering it up with a little piece right here. And you're just making an outline of your heart. And it's also making the flowers stand out. I picked this particular, it was hard to find a really pretty napkin, which is weird because, you know, all the time there used to be like people used to do paper napkins for just about anything. Like if you were going out to eat, people would have paper napkins. If you were having a party, they were all different colors, all different sizes, you know, for different holidays. And now it doesn't seem like there's hardly any. So it was hard to find the napkin that I liked that I would do this craft with. And I will say I did buy these on Amazon, but I knew that I was probably going to end up using them for something else, as well as using them in my house. So it wasn't a waste. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, I'm going to spend all this money on napkins and I'm never going to use but one. No, definitely I wouldn't say go out and buy a napkin just if you think you're only going to use it for one craft. They're not that expensive, but still that's wasting. I have this one piece that just does not want to come off. Here we go. Here we go. I brought a little bit of it up with me, so I'm just going to pat it back down. And that's the other thing with the paint. If you have little pieces that didn't adhere, once you put the paint down, it makes it adhere a little bit better. And then I have a couple pieces right here that did not go. Here you go, guys. You may want to come back and, like I said, do with the X-Acto knife your Mod Podge. But there you go, guys. A cute little Valentine. You come back and also use the blow dryer later on. Not Valentine, a cute little... Could be Valentine. You could actually use this for Valentine's Day and then use it for St. Patrick's Day. But here you go. A cute little DIY using napkins, Mod Podge glue, and a shamrock, a wooden shamrock, and secret weapon, the lighter, and paint. And you see, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see, if you get up close to it, you can see where some of the pieces were not, like, I'm trying to see, like this piece right here, the napkin didn't go all the way over because it burned. But once we covered it with paint, you really can't tell. So until next time, guys, be blessed. Subscribe to the channel and let me know what other DIYs you would like to see, because this one's super cute. And I think I'm going to actually do this with words, this technique as well with some words. And if you noticed, I used a piece of my cardstock as a paint. That's a great way to also get use out of your cardstock. So happy St. Patrick's Day.